Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about a new regional law for tourism for Andalusia, specifically known as Decree 31 2020-24, and it was dated the 19th of January. And I've got my colleague Patricia with me today. Hi, Patricia, how are you?
Hello, Alex. I'm very well.
Excellent, good stuff. So we're gonna talk about this law, and we're just reminding everyone this is purely for Andalusia. It's not a national law. This relates to tourism in Andalusia. Okay. So Patricia, we always, as lawyers, we like new laws because it means we've got to do a bit of studying and we can update our clients. But sometimes also it means change as well.
Yeah.
So before we get on to the actual changes of the law and what it means for our clients, what are the main aims of the law?
Well, Alex, basically this law has been approved to get a balance due to the increase of tourism with the community or coexisting, and this is in several ways. Um, One of the aims is to give power to the town hall to regulate the areas where we get more visitors. And of course, to protect the tourism. Basically, we need to ensure that people that comes to our country can stay in a place with guarantees of quality.
Yeah, I mean, as Spain is one of the leading countries of tourist recipients, it is important that there are laws in place to protect the tourism and the quality of the services provided to them. So what I mean, we've had tourist laws before. Um, we had regional tourist authorities introduced by national law a few years back. What are the main changes of this new tourist law for Andalusia now then?
Well, one of the most common introduction was that before we had to have, well, we had the requirements of having an LFO, a license of first occupation, to get your property registered with the tourism registry. So now this requirement it's gone, but we need to confirm the property is in compliance with the local urban planning requirements. So it's very, very important that even though the property does not have a license of first occupation in place, but still this property complies with local urban planning regulation.
Okay. So
Um,
so for example, if I've built my so if I got planning permission and I built my house according to planning permission, but I haven't applied to the town hall for the license of first occupation, but an architect said yes, you built according to planning permission, I could register the property for tourist rentals.
yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Exactly. That's it.
Okay. Okay. But if I built extra on my property, then I wouldn't be able to get the tourist license. Is that right?
Well, basically, if you own a property located in urban land and you build more that you should do, then this extended area it's considered out of order. And that will mean that you will need to regularize your property by means of an AFO. Um, and that basically the town hall recognize what you have there, but you don't comply with the planning situation. This new decree states specifically that properties with AFO cannot be registered with the tourism registry unless you have an authorization from the town hall, and you will need to get this permission beforehand if you want to get your property registered.
Okay. So AFO properties are typically those properties we tend to come across them in the rural areas of Andalusia, where, for example, someone might have built on land that wasn't supposed to be built on, but because the town hall didn't take any action against the owners or the builders within a certain period of time, usually 6 years, then this property is considered out of regulation and they have to go through the AFO process. So we see a lot of that property in the rural areas, but also we come across that in urban areas whereby properties have been built with an excess amount of square meters. But it's good news that if you've got an AFO, then and the town hall specifically agrees to it, that you can still rent it out for tourist purposes. So it's not a complete ban on AFO property.
No, it's not. It's not. You can always get confirmation from the town hall, but it's very important that you need to get that before registering with the tourism registry.
Okay. So registering now. So how can I register my property for tourist rentals in Andalusia?
Well, first of all, making sure that your property complies with all the requirements of habitability, as we have said, no, that if your property complies with urban regulation, or if not, getting this permission. But basically, the form of registering will depend if you are going to be the person handling the rentals. In this case, you will have to do the application in your name, or if you're going to use a company handling this for you, then it's your company, the one who has to take the responsibility of submitting the forms to the regional government.
Okay. So depending on who's going to manage the rentals on a day-to-day basis, whether it's a company I have locally or me, they would then register.
Yeah.
And is it because up until now, Patricia, we've completed lots of registrations of properties with the tourist registry for clients. Is what has changed on the process, or is the process still the same?
The process itself remains the same, but talking about some changes of the law as well, it's very important as well that you have the obligation to inform the tourist registry the period of time you are planning to rent the property out. For example, if you are going to rent full year, or if you are going to rent only summer months, okay? And this has to be notified beforehand, before the rentals. So all the people that already has the properties registered with the tourist registry before February this year has 6 months to inform the Junta Andalucía about when they are planning to rent the property. That means before August this year, basically. It's important that, well, it's compulsory to fill a form informing about when they are planning to do the tourist rentals.
Okay, and this is mainly because the local town halls and the tourism registry want to know what periods of the year you're renting your property out. So they want to know if you're going to use it in July and August, no problem, but then you're going to rent it for the rest of the year. So they want to know kind of what kind of capacity there is for holiday rentals throughout the year, which is understandable. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's really one of the main changes. So if you already had a property which you were renting out and was registered with the Tourism Authority, you now actually have to update this registration process.
Yeah. One of the most important changes, in my opinion, is that this new regulation also it's giving a lot of power to the town hall. So each municipality will have the faculties to limit or regularize existing license and future licenses. For example, prohibiting new licenses in a building, in an area, or for part of the year, maybe. So what the regional government wants is that the town hall can also have an opinion about managing the rentals, and this is always with the aim of offering quality services for our visitors. And we have the recent example in Malaga City, where the mayor has said he's going to limit new licenses in areas that could be more conflictive at the moment.
Okay, so that, I mean that's a big change, isn't it? Because basically that means that the town halls will so each time someone wants to buy a property and say rent it out, they have actually we've got to check with the town hall whether or not a tourist license will be granted. So that also means that if you're looking for a property, looking to buy a property that you want to rent out for holiday rentals, you've got to ask the agent to make sure that they only show you properties in an area or a neighborhood in a town that can be where that property can be registered.
Yes. And most important, if this property is an apartment and it's part of a community of owners, we will have to do a double check confirming that in this building, all neighbors or property owners have not agreed any limitation or prohibition on rentals.
Yeah, that's really quite important because, again, this was a 2019 law in which the national government gave community of owners the powers to restrict holiday rentals. And again, we can find this out. Usually it should be registered at the land registry, or this will be passed in minutes of the community meetings. So it is important, if you want to rent out the property, ask the agent those two questions. Will the town hall accept my application to register the property for holiday rentals? And does the community allow holiday rentals as well? Okay, so assuming we've passed those hurdles, Patricia, and we've registered the property with the tourist registry, when do I pay my tax and how much tax do I have to pay?
Well, Alex, this is new about this in this year as well. Before, non-residents were obliged to do quarterly tax returns as long as they receive income from rentals. So from this year, 2024, now the situation has changed, and basically, considering you are a non-resident in Spain for tax purposes, you will have to do a tax return next year in 2025, declaring the rentals received during this current year, and so on. So every January, you will have to declare the income received the previous year. And the tax rate for the moment, it's at 24%. On rentals, if you are a non-EU citizen, 19% on the rental, if you are an EU citizen.
Okay, no, that's interesting. So basically, it used to be quarterly, but now it's down to a yearly basis. You submit the tax returns on income that you generate using the Spanish property here in Spain. And of course, depending on where you live, if you're a tax resident in another country other than Spain, then you also have to declare that income in that country too. Yeah. Okay. Patricia, is there anything else you'd like to add about the holiday rentals?
Well, just finish saying that the regional government is working to draft a new Andalusian tourist law, and this new law will obviously introduce new changes. So basically, we'll keep recording and keeping people informed about all the changes and all the development of the new law as soon as it comes.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Patricia. See you next time.
See you.